Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to another video. I'm so glad that you have tuned into my channel yet again. So if you are new here, I'm just going to simply introduce myself again. I'm Leah. I'm a PRN med surgical nurse, and I love what I do. And I created this channel just to help new nurses. But I want to talk about something a little different. Again, I am a PRN med surgical nurse, so I can work night shift, day shift, anytime I want, whenever I want. But this week, I decided to work night shift. And so I want to tell you a little bit about the pros and cons of working night shift. And for me, there were more pros this week in working night shift. So let's get into the video. Okay, so again, I work night shift this week. I'm going to be very transparent. I chose to work night shift, and I'm going to say this. I was thinking about working night shift actually before I even became a nurse, but I wound up being pregnant right out of nursing school, and so basically things changed. I just felt like it wouldn't be right for me. So I always had the desire to work night shift because I heard that it was easier, and I worked night shift as a CNA when I was in nursing school, and I loved it. But I got stuck working day shift. I opted for it, and I just stuck with it because I was actually scared to go to night shift because I had started out in day shift. So anyway, so as a PRN nurse, I picked up like an 8-hour shift. I think it was last week or the week before last, can't remember. But anyways, last week, and it was a difficult shift. When I tell y'all, my phone did not stop ringing from the moment I got there to the moment I ended. So many people were calling me. So many things were going wrong with my patients. Patients had so many different procedures. I literally felt like a chicken with my head cut off. And I felt like at some point when I left there, what did I do? I felt like I did nothing, but I was running around all day. And I know that I wasn't just doing nothing, but I was just tired. And let me tell you, as a nurse, you're going to feel tired. You're going to feel burnt out. And when that happens, remember, do not feel stuck. You have options. And for me, I have to remind myself, I have options. I tell my hospital when I went to work. And so I told my husband when I came home after my 8-hour shift, I was like, I'm done. I am done. I need a change. And I'm just going to, work night shift. And so told my manager that I was picking up just 2 12-hour shifts at night, and I just wanted to see how that would work. And after the second one, I was like, yo, I'm coming back tomorrow. I loved it. I simply loved it. So I just want to talk about the pros of working night shift. And the first thing is just more money. So if you are a full-time worker in any hospital or anywhere you are, working night shift allows you to make more money than day shift. But for me personally, I'm already at the max of what I can make per hour because I'm PRN. So it's not more money for me, but in the case of some others who are considering it and you are full, it is more money. The second thing, oh my gosh, is probably one of the greatest things about me because I feel like I am like an introvert. I like to work on my own. I like to be independent. I hate people telling me what to do. I know it's bad, but anyways, there are less people you have to interact with and work with. So during the day, you have a lot of things going on for your patients. A lot of them have orders or consults for PT and OT. Some of them need to be evaluated by speech therapists. They have procedures, transports coming to pick them up, and with all these things that are happening, you as a nurse are directing their care, and you have to communicate to all these people on top of the patient, on top of the family members. So during night shift, there are no visitors that are allowed except for special cases, and especially now we're in COVID, but there are no visitors, no family. And I'm gonna tell you the truth, sometimes when a patient's family or whatever are there, I feel like I'm attending to more the family or the spouse or whatever than the patient because they're just so and I'm not saying anything's wrong with that, but a lot of times, family members are just sometimes overbearing, but that comes with the job. But yes, you don't have to deal with that at night shift. You're not dealing with people coming in to evaluate them for OT or PT, speech, and you don't have to deal with transport, even though you do have to do things on your own. If a patient has, an emergency procedure, you have to transport them on your own. But I mean, I love it because less interaction, less talking. I just like to get to the point. I don't like small talk and all this stuff. So I love it. I absolutely love it. But I think this is also one of the greatest things. The next pro of working night shift is like, basically, I opted to be a nurse. I chose and I wanted to be a nurse because I love loving on people. I love interacting with them and getting to know them and feel like I can actually make a difference in their life. And during day shift, man, you are so busy that sometimes I feel like I'm becoming the nurse that I said I didn't want to be, right? Because I have so much that I need to do that a lot of times patients just simply want to talk to me for 5 minutes. And I'm gonna tell you the truth, sometimes you don't even have 2 seconds to talk to them. You want them to take their meds, you want to do what you need to do, and you're out of there. You just do not have the time, because if you do, either you don't go to the bathroom, you can't go to lunch. I mean, that's just how my mind thinks on day shift. So I actually, during day shift, I feel like I'm becoming the nurse that I said I didn't want to be, but it's just, it happens. You have so much that you need to do. But at night shift during this week, I had the opportunity to sit and talk to a patient. I had the opportunity to just get to know my patients a little better, because I was there for three whole days. And so, you know, that relationship kind of built through that time, and I loved it. I was actually able to be myself. And I know they can feel the difference as well. It's a great thing. Yeah, it's just, and I know they felt it too. It was a great thing. Another thing is just fewer distractions, as far as, like, you know, your managers wanting to have quick meetings with you or talk to you about something, or administration walking through, or you're kind of having in-services. Just a lot of like things that sometimes I feel, if they're not meaningless, but a lot of things where it's like, man, don't y'all know I'm taking care of patients? You don't have to deal with any of that at all. Managers are gone, except, you know, your supervisor's there, and all you have is your coworkers and, you know, important people that are needed to be there. But that's it, like that's it, and I love it. Lastly, one of the pros, and I consider myself, like I said, a very introverted person, and I don't like small talk sometimes. I just like to just do my work. But during night shift, I feel like I'm becoming not a different person, but like, you know, I'm able to chill, you know, I'm able to relax, which means I'm able to form better relationships with my coworkers. We're able to socialize and talk, and I feel less stressed. And I get to know them, and I feel like we're a team and we're there to help one another. And it was just a great opportunity this week. And so I feel like night shift has that opportunity. Not saying that day shift you can't work together as a unit and no one has your back, but like during night shift, man, you have an opportunity to just talk, because sometimes you don't have anything to do, so you're getting to know other people. So it was a great thing to get to know my coworkers, and to feel like, man, I'm in this together. So that is, you know, and we're in this together. So with all things, there's always, you know, a good and a bad. Everything is not always good. And I'm not saying that, you know, this was a perfect shift, everything went well and I did nothing all shift, but I can say in comparison to working day shift, it was great for me. But there are some cons. The first con is basically, there's less people, so sometimes you can feel like, you know, you don't have the amount of, so you can feel like sometimes, you know, you don't have the optimal amount of support around you. For instance, if a patient comes in and you're not sure about their mobility and you need them to be tested, you don't have PT there. If a patient kind of comes in and they have dysphagia, you can't easily, you know, ask the doctor to put in a consult for speech for them to come and evaluate them. You got to figure out what you got to do until day shift for them to get there. In my hospital, if you have issues with like getting a peripheral IV, because a lot of people do have really bad veins, and you're unable to get it, you cannot have the peripheral team come and put an IV in. You just gotta wait until day shift. And so that kind of, you know, makes your night a little bit more difficult, because you can't maybe give your patient IV fluids if they need it and things of that sort. There's less support, but you do have enough support in order to handle your patients and keep them safe, but there's less people there. So that's one of the cons. Another thing, which is kind of the major thing, is the sleep, like this different sleep pattern. Another thing is basically having to be on a different sleep cycle. I do consider myself a person that stays up late, but even with that, you know, you're working kind of against the natural way that your body's supposed to sleep. And so it just, for me, I was all right, you know, working during the night, but once like 8 o'clock rolled around and I'm driving home, I could feel it. Like, you know, it's like, I need to go to sleep or I'm going to crash or something. And so it's just a little difficult. And then having to sleep during the day. And then the worst thing for me was when I got up, I was getting up about 3:45. It's like I felt like groggy. I didn't feel alert. You know, it just feels like you're trying to get to a place, you know, where you feel okay, but you never will, because your body is basically in reverse. That's the one thing that I do have to get used to. And as a nurse, if you're working night shift, I have seen, and I am not a coffee drinker or anything, but during this time I actually went and was getting me like vanilla lattes before work. And then like one nurse that I was working with was drinking coffee and Pepsi at the same time. And I was like, oh my gosh, like this is ridiculous. ridiculous, but you know, they do anything they can in order to, you know, stay awake and keep themselves alert. That, but I can see that, you know, working night shift, that if you know, need something to help you stay awake, you can form unhealthy eating habits and things of that sort, because you know, a lot of the stores are not open. So if you forget your lunch, your only option is basically go to a vending machine and grab some chips and some things, and all these things are unhealthy. And so over time, even though you're caring for other people and you want to be in optimal health, you're actually, you know, harming yourself. Another thing is that sometimes you can feel like you have a lack of social life. For nurses, yes, we do work sometimes. I can say people who are on the bedside, or, you know, floor nurses, you do work 3 12-hour shifts. And so you do have the 4 days to interact with other people and things of that sort. But on the days you do have to work, sometimes, like for me, I chose to work on this Sunday. And I actually went to like a fall festival right before work. But then they wanted to go out to eat. And I was like, I gotta go to work. You know, like, oh my God, I have to go to work. And so sometimes you can feel like, dang, you know, I'm going to miss out on certain things because I'm working while everyone else is playing or enjoying themselves. So I think through time, it can take a toll on you, and you can feel like you're kind of not, you know, having much of a social life. Lastly, the thing that I had to get used to in these 3 days, because I feel like working day shift, you are very spoiled. I was very spoiled and very accustomed to basically the doctor, seeing them face to face. They always round within the first 2 hours of my shift, so I'm able to understand, even if I couldn't understand everything I need to understand by reading, you know, the notes and things. I'm able to ask questions to put the pieces together. I'm able to understand what the plan is for the day, so I can plan my day and know firsthand what's going on, and then firsthand reach out to them if something is wrong. Not saying I don't have that during night shift, because we do have a doctor that's on call, but it's easier to talk to them. You actually see them, so it creates a different type of, you know, interaction with your doctor. Some of them don't want to be bothered on night shift, and you can tell from the way they respond if you do reach out to them. And it's not like that on day shift, because they don't have nothing but time to reach out to us. They're alert. They wanna help. They're just more, I feel like they're more attentive and want to actually do their job on day shift than they are on night shift. And I understand it's a different, you know, time of day, but you know, patients come first. And so I do realize that that's a little different, but I didn't have any pertinent issues, maybe like a low blood pressure or something like that. And then that was it. But all in all, man, I love day shift. And I can say this too, I was kind of apprehensive of working night shift because of having a daughter. And so I can say that as working night shift this week, there were a lot of moms, and they basically share stories of how they, you know, get their sleep when they go home. And for me, I opted for my child to actually go to daycare on the first 2 days so that I could sleep, and it worked out. It actually did work out, and my husband loves it. It doesn't take a toll on my family. The only thing is that I need to basically get some sleep, and that was the only thing. But I enjoy my work week, and I am so glad that I actually had the opportunity to change when I work, when I feel like it. I feel like I am a better person. I am a better person, and I'm a better nurse, having this opportunity to basically be in charge of when I work and how I work. I love it. I feel honored and blessed to be a nurse, to be in this position in this day and time, especially when a lot of people don't even have jobs. So I'm thankful for that. So if you are considering night shift, try it out first. See if you can try it out. Don't just say, oh, I want to go night shift, because try it out. Maybe, I think they call it split shifts. I don't know. I forgot the term for it, but basically, maybe if you are a day shift, you can tell your manager, hey, I want to just work maybe 3 weeks out of the 6-week period on day shift and the rest on night shift, just so you can say that you tried it out, because it may not be for you. So try it out before you actually go fully on night shift, because it's not for everyone. But I hope this video was very helpful. As I always say, I don't know where you are in your work week, if you're beginning or the end of your work week, but man, feel honored, feel blessed that you are a nurse, that you get to love on people, individuals at some of the most trying times in their lives. And remember to try to be the best nurse you can be. All right, I'll see you in my next video.